Have you ever watched elderly people working out at the gym and wondered if building muscle at that age really makes a difference? Or maybe you've noticed your own muscle mass declining with age and thought it was just a natural part of getting older that you had to accept? I used to think the same way. My father is 65 years old, and just a few years ago, he could easily lift a 20-kilogram bag of rice. Now he struggles with just 5 kilograms. Climbing stairs isn't what it used to be, and even holding his grandchild has become challenging. I thought this was simply inevitable aging. But I was wrong. What I'm about to share with you today is truly shocking. Recent medical research from around the world has uncovered a stunning correlation between muscle mass and lifespan, and the results are far more dramatic than anyone imagined. Let me ask you something. Imagine two people of the same age and weight. One has high muscle mass, the other has low muscle mass. Who do you think will live longer? Obviously the muscular person, right? But by how much? A year or two? Maybe 5 years? A groundbreaking study from UCLA Medical School followed over 3,500 adults for 15 years. The results were astounding. People with higher muscle mass had a 46% lower risk of death compared to those with lower muscle mass. 46%. That's nearly half the risk. This single factor has as much impact on survival as whether you smoke or not. But here's what makes this even more remarkable. The researchers didn't measure body mass index or overall weight. They measured pure muscle mass. Whether someone was thin or heavy, even if they were overweight, muscle mass itself was the decisive factor in survival rates. So why does muscle have such a profound impact on longevity? There are 5 scientific secrets that explain this phenomenon. First, muscle is your body's sugar storage facility. According to Harvard Medical School research, approximately 80% of the glucose we consume gets stored in muscle. When you eat a bowl of rice, 80% of that sugar goes into your muscles. But what happens if you don't have enough muscle? The sugar has nowhere to go and floats around in your bloodstream. This is why blood sugar rises. Insufficient muscle mass means poor blood sugar control, even with the same food intake, dramatically increasing diabetes risk. A study from the University of Copenhagen involving 2,000 diabetes patients found that those with higher muscle mass had 32% fewer cardiovascular complications. Second, muscle is your metabolic factory. Muscle tissue burns energy even at rest. This is called basal metabolic rate. 1 kilogram of muscle burns about 13 calories per day. If you lose 5 kilograms of muscle, that's 65 extra calories stored daily, 1,950 calories monthly, and 23,700 calories yearly. That equals about 3 kilograms of fat gain per year, just from muscle loss. Third, muscle is intimately connected to your immune system. According to recent research from King's College, London, muscle cells secrete special substances called myokines. These myokines suppress inflammation and strengthen immune function. The more muscle you have, the more actively these substances are produced, protecting your body from various diseases. Since major diseases like cancer, heart disease, and dementia are all linked to chronic inflammation, muscle acts as a shield against inflammation. Fourth, muscle determines quality of life in old age. Johns Hopkins University's geriatric research team tracked 500 people over 70 for 10 years. Those with higher muscle mass had 68% fewer falls and 52% fewer fractures. Falls are a leading cause of death in the elderly. When an elderly person breaks their hip from a fall, the mortality rate within 1 year exceeds 20%. 1 in 5 people die within a year. Muscle acts as protection against this. Fifth, muscle protects brain health. A 2023 study from the University of Sydney found that elderly people who regularly performed strength training had 38% lower rates of dementia. Growth factors released during muscle use promote the generation of new brain cells. Now you might be thinking, okay, muscle is important, but I'm already 60 or 70. I've lost a lot of muscle. Is it too late to start? Will it even make a difference? Here's the incredibly hopeful news. Researchers at McMaster University in Canada conducted an experiment with adults aged 60 to 80 who had been sedentary their entire lives. They had these participants do strength training 3 times per week, 45 minutes per session, for just 12 weeks. The results were remarkable. Muscle mass increased by an average of 2.6 kilograms and strength improved by an average of 32%. Even more amazing, blood sugar levels improved by 13% on average. And blood pressure decreased by 8 millimeters of mercury. All of this in just 3 months, with people who had never exercised. This demonstrates our body's incredible adaptability. Age is just a number when it comes to building muscle. But how much muscle do you actually need? According to guidelines from the Tokyo University Gerontology Research Center, you don't need as much as you might think. For adult men, a muscle mass ratio of 30% or more of body weight is healthy. For women, 25% or more. For example, a 70-kilogram man would need about 21 kilograms of muscle mass, and maintaining this doesn't require as much exercise as you'd think. The American College of Sports Medicine recommends 2 to 3 sessions per week, 2 to 3 sets per muscle group, 8 to 12 repetitions. That's just 30 to 45 minutes per day. Just 2 or 3 times a week, 30 minutes per session. That's less time than watching one TV show. This investment of time can change your lifespan and quality of life. However, nutrition is just as important as exercise. You can't build muscle without the raw materials. The most crucial nutrient for muscle synthesis is protein. According to research from the University of Texas Medical Center, protein synthesis efficiency decreases with age. Young people need about 20 grams of protein per meal, but those over 60 need at least 30 grams per meal. Daily total should be about 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight. The type of protein matters too. Protein rich in an amino acid called leucine is most effective for muscle synthesis. Foods high in leucine include eggs, chicken breast, beef, tuna, Greek yogurt, and tofu. Start your morning with 3 eggs. Each egg contains about 6 grams of protein with high leucine content. For lunch, have 150 grams of chicken breast or 200 grams of fish. For dinner, 150 grams of beef or 300 grams of tofu is appropriate. Vitamin D is equally important. According to Harvard School of Public Health Research, people deficient in vitamin D have 15% less muscle mass, on average, and 20% less strength. Vitamin D helps muscle cells synthesize protein and improves muscle function. You can synthesize vitamin D through sunlight exposure. 15 to 20 minutes daily with arms and legs exposed is sufficient. Omega-3 fatty acids are also essential. University of Washington Medical School research found that elderly people with adequate omega-3 intake had 50% higher muscle protein synthesis rates. Consume fatty fish like mackerel, salmon, or sardines 2 to 3 times per week, or snack on flaxseed or walnuts. Let me share a real story. There's a 72-year-old man I know, Mr. Kim. Until age 68, he was an ordinary elderly person with high blood pressure and diabetes, taking medications and visiting doctors regularly. But when his grandchild was born, he made a decision. He wanted to stay healthy until this child grew up. So he joined a gym. It was incredibly difficult at first. Even an empty barbell felt heavy, and 5 squats left him breathless. He felt self-conscious around younger people. The first week, the muscle soreness was so severe he wanted to quit. But he persevered, thinking of his grandchild. Every other day, 30 minutes at a time, consistently. 4 years later, Mr. Kim is a completely different person. He stopped taking blood pressure medication and his diabetes numbers returned to normal. His doctor was amazed. His bone density test showed levels comparable to someone in their 60s. Most importantly, he's full of vitality. Last month, he went hiking with his grandson. The middle school-aged grandson was struggling. but Grandpa was marching ahead energetically. This is the real gift that muscle provides. Not just numbers on a lifespan chart, but meaningful, vibrant living. Time spent with loved ones in happiness. Remember, muscle is your life account. Even if you didn't save when you were young, it's okay. You can start saving now. One step at a time, little by little, consistently. Start today, not tomorrow, but right now. After you finish this video, do 10 squats. Just stand up and sit down from a chair 10 times. That will be the first step in changing your life. A year from now, looking back at today, you'll be glad you started. I sincerely support your healthy, happy life to 100. Thank you.